Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. We got videos today from Taylor the Fiend.
Green flags on a first date. When he says, get whatever you want, and let's
Of course, always has to do with money.
you pick like 7 things off the menu. When he leads the conversation and asks you all the questions, like you'd be surprised how men really don't know how to have a conversation these days.
No, it's really, I don't care to ask these questions because I don't care to know. You already seem like somewhat of a miserable person when I first interacted with you. I just don't care to ask personal questions.
He asks you meaningful questions, like stuff about your family, your friends, religion, your career, not just, did you grow up in San Diego? What do you do for fun? When he doesn't shit talk his exes if they do come up in conversation, or just girls in general. Red flag if he says she's crazy. If he
So anytime he talks S about a girl is a red flag to her. Got it.
asks if you want anything else, or if you want like another drink or dessert before you guys like completely close the tab. Do not assume I'm done without asking me. When he
That is just crazy. The entitlement that you have to ask me when the dinner is done, even though you're paying and you took me out.
doesn't pressure you to kiss you on the first date. Like, men need to just know, like, a kiss on the first date is probably not happening. And if you just don't pressure me at all, that's gonna make me feel even more enticed to go on a second date with you.
In other words, a man who has no problem wasting his money by allowing her to order half the menu and keeping the entire conversation about her and only her. The only types of women who want to order 7 things on a dinner menu are simply
Is when she doesn't like you. It's truly because she doesn't like you. Again, when people actually like people, they're somewhat on their best behavior, and the best behavior is usually not to spend people's money so freely.
looking to take advantage of a guy, and it's really that simple. And when she's not taking advantage of his wallet, she demands that he must ask her endless questions while
About
avoiding
her.
talking about himself. And what makes this worse is how she will also just write you off if you end up talking bad about your exes. Considering the rise of modern women becoming so mentally unhinged that there has been a dramatic rise in psychotic ex-girlfriends, he should be able to mention it if it comes up in conversation, but she's the type of woman who believes that all women are victims and all men must have done something to drive her into madness. It doesn't matter what this woman's green flags are because she's a walking, talking red one.
Damn
Modern
right.
women have been completely losing their minds over on TikTok as per usual. I've got a few clips for you here today from Locke the Bounty Hunter, so let's just jump right into it.
Can we talk about when a guy makes a girl pay, or he doesn't open the door for her, or he's just not being a gentleman and he's like, well, you wanted equality. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? We wanted equal rights, like women should be able to vote and stuff.
No, equality is not a buffet that you just get to choose what the fuck you want. No, when you want equality, we give it to you across the board. That's how men work.
What? That's literally it. No one asked to pay for anything. No one asked to open their own doors or carry their own suitcases. Don't be manipulative like that. That's crazy.
Oh,
Don't flip it on us like that. Are you kidding?
Oh, jeez.
Are you kidding?
My bad.
We wanted to be able to speak and have a voice and get jobs if we wanted to. But please, that argument is so crazy to me. It's really funny. I'm like, oh, you're stupid.
And when you're an idiot, everything's crazy to you.
He's honestly trying to convince the world that there's such a thing as selective equality, that these women demanded to be completely independent, which means opening their own doors, working their own jobs, and living their lives completely free without a man. And by doing so, they became insanely masculine, but still demand to be treated like women. It
Yeah, they're just insufferable creatures now.
doesn't work that way. The second they got their independence, they must face the consequences. Which is kind of weird because these women love to bring up arguments like not being able to vote, not being able to work, and lest we forget the whole credit card argument. These are things that haven't been issues for several decades, if not centuries, and they act like they were somehow on the front lines and deserve admiration for it. But all they
I mean, it's crazy that they bring this up, and then we bring up war, that men go to war, and they're like, there hasn't been a war in ages. Why do you bring it up? You've never had the right to vote for ages now. So I don't think you've actually ever experienced this. At least war, there's still men that are alive now that have been drafted, which would be the Vietnam War. I believe they're still alive. At least holding on barely.
They really want is for someone else to open their own doors and pay for their dinners for them.
Best dating advice I can give you guys from someone that is engaged and dated a lot of people. Ow! I actually think I just broke my wrist on Jacob's gun case. Invest into people that are investing into you. Don't invest into someone that you like. I always, when I was dating in the beginning, would invest into people that I'm like, I feel a connection. I feel like we're compatible. He's
So the Chad and Tyrone types.
really attractive. He has all the qualities I like. But he wasn't investing into me. And then I started investing into them. And then I got a heartbreak. And I think you can save yourself from a lot of heartbreak if you just only invest in the people, in the guys, that are actively investing into you.
I mean, the actual advice isn't bad. You know, like, yeah, invest in the people that like you, that are reciprocating. But her telling you that she literally got ran through because she was chasing Chads and Tyrones this whole time makes it a little bit questionable of her giving you this advice.
Match their efforts. They do less, you do less. You do nothing. You walk away. You find someone better.
The worst possible dating advice a woman can get is from another woman who claims that she has dated a lot of guys. That goes double for any woman who's just gotten quote unquote recently engaged. It just shows that they have a lot of baggage, they have trust issues, and they have been ran through by so many damn guys. They will always think that their experience gives them knowledge, but all it does is prove how terrible they are at giving advice. And to make it worse, she openly admits to trying to lock down a guy like Chad and got repeatedly heartbroken because she strictly went after men who weren't about to take her seriously, openly admitting that you kept getting into obvious situationships.
I mean, a lot of men do this too, right? We lust over women. Even though these women would never give us the time of day, we still lust over them and still get used and abused.
With men like that isn't going to fare well for a woman who's about to get married. If anything, it's just going to destroy the marriage because women like this are not capable of emotionally bonding or even respecting the men that they are with.
True.
What's it like to be single and dating in your 30s? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked, let me tell you. So I've been seeing this
Who
guy
asked?
for a few weeks, but I've known him for a while now. We haven't had like the what are we doing conversation yet, but we're having so much fun together. He has been whining and dining me. We have been going out and doing things. Like he's always adamant that I know that it's not just about sex for him. Plus, like we talk every day, we text, we call, like for all intents and purposes, we are dating. So yesterday, he decides to come into the bar that I work at to visit me. So he's sitting there by himself and this group of girls walks in and of course they sit right next to him. And they are shameless in making their move. And I get it because he's
Sure.
successful, he's attractive, he is very comfortable by himself. Like these are all very attractive qualities. Plus like it's kind of fun when other girls are hitting on your man because you're just like, yeah, like I know he's a catch. But then it got kind of like not fun. They were getting a little too touchy and the conversations were getting a little too deep. And mind you, I'm working, so I'm like half paying attention, but mostly like making drinks and taking care of my other guests.
The first problem with this story is that she assumed they were dating when it was obvious that these guys were just having bedroom fun and the dude was playing her. She said it
I mean, they might not be playing her, but he might be just doing his thing, just going out and dating women and having sex with them. That's a thing too nowadays.
herself, right? For all intents and purposes, they were dating, even though that phrase practically means nothing nowadays.
It
It's
really
just
does.
a saying that these women use to give off the idea that men are taking them more seriously than they actually are. But these women are so desperate for something real that they have taken basic terminology and warped it into something meaningless just to make themselves feel better. Honestly, we need to take this woman's story with a complete grain of salt. We have seen far too many modern women fabricate stories to make themselves feel like sympathetic victims.
I mean, it's funny because not a lot of their stories isn't fully fabricated, but there's definitely many parts of it that is.
If we take her story at face value and this guy came to where she worked and women were hitting on him, then it's fairly obvious that he wasn't taking her seriously.
Correct.
She just didn't want to believe it because she wanted him to feel the same way as she does. And it's rather interesting how she can tell the guy is having a deep conversation with some random girl at a bar, despite the fact that she's supposed to be working. This story clearly just doesn't add up.
So finally this group of girls leaves and then he's like, I should go home. And I'm just like, yeah, you probably should. But then another group of girls come in and of course they sit right next to him too. Once again, they start shooting their shot. Kind of over the whole game at this point, and once again,
I want to be very clear. I don't blame the girls at all. It was his actions that were encouraging them. Oh, him just sitting there?
it just gets to be too much. So long story short, I literally watched this man leave the bar with another woman. Never felt so small and disrespected because literally I'm working. So I'm wearing this ugly ass uniform. I'm doing my job. I'm getting paid to take care of him and these girls. I'm not a jealous person, and
This story says otherwise.
I know that we haven't had that conversation yet of like, what is this? But also, like, if you're gonna do that, don't do it at my place of work while I'm literally there. Anyway, haven't heard from him since. Probably won't ever
All right, now, yeah, he's playing her.
hear from him again.
My
And I
bad.
think he probably knows that if he reaches out to me, like, I'm probably gonna go off on him. So anyway, that's basically what it's like.
If that guy really did leave the bar with someone else, then it's plain to see that he wasn't serious about this
Yes.
woman. Guys like Chad have millions of lines. They will feed women like this if it means getting some low effort bedroom fun. But these women will fall for it because that man has every quality they want, and they will ignore the red flags every time. And we know that this dude is a Chad because, according to her, women were naturally flocking to him, which means
I
that
mean, 2 groups of women? Yeah, and this guy must be damn good looking.
lots of women want him, which means that he has options. But it is rather funny how she thinks he's avoiding her because he's afraid that she's going to go off on him, even though nothing could be further from the truth. He's just no longer interested in her because it's fairly obvious he got sick of her and he has significantly more options than her. But women like this will always try to downplay the whole thing, even though they spent so much time talking about how much he hurt her. But she will most likely fall for another Chad and she won't be able to help herself.
It's funny how she thinks she's actually punishing him by not contacting him and waiting for him to contact her, or of him thinking that he's avoiding her because he doesn't want to get yelled at. No, he doesn't care. Why would he ever care? He literally picked up women in front of you. Yeah, you're a nobody. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.